Good day, ma'am. My name is Martico R. Alabastro from BSED Science 1 Block A. Now, I am discussing the economic gap between the Philippines and the United States. Income inequality in the United States is the extent to which income is distributed in differing amounts among the American population. It has fluctuated considerably since measurements began around 1915, moving in an arc between peaks in the 1920s and 2000s, with a year 30 period of relatively lower inequality between 1950 and 1980. The United States has the highest level of income inequality among its post-industrialized peers. When measured for all households, United States income inequality is comparable to other developed countries before taxes and transfers, but is among the highest after taxes and transfers, meaning the United States shift relatively less income from the higher income household to lower income household. In 2016, average market income was $15,600 for the lowest quintile and $280,300 for the highest quintile. The degree of inequality accelerated within the top quintile, with the top 1% at $1.8 million, approximately 30 times the $59,300 income of the middle quintile. The economic and political impacts of inequality may include slower GDP growth, reduced income mobility, higher poverty rates, greater usage of household debt, leading to increased risk of financial crisis and political polarization. 13-1141. Causes of inequality may include executive compensation increasing relative to the average worker, financialization, greater industry concentration, lower unionization rates, lower effective tax rates on higher incomes, and technology changes that reward higher educational attainment. According to the Census Bureau, income inequality reached record levels in 2018 with a Gini of 49.191. United States tax and transfer policies are progressive and therefore reduce effective income inequality. The 2016 U.S. Gini coefficient reduced to 42 after taxes and transfers, according to Congressional Budget Office or CBO figures. The top 1% share of market income rose from 9.6% in 1979 to a peak of 2016. After taxes and transfer, this figure were 7.4%, 16.6% and 12.5% respectively, 1-to-1. Income inequality in the Philippines is the extent to which income, most commonly measured by household or individual, is distributed in an uneven manner in the Philippines. According to World Bank Country Director Moto Konishi, the Philippines had become a rising tiger in East Asia. However, at the same time, during the 2010 and 2011 fiscal year, the increase in the wealth of the richest families in the Philippines, amounting to 47.39%, comprised 76.5% of the GDP increase for that year. Thus, the benefits of this economic growth has not yet trickled down on the poorer segments of the population. As seen with the malnutrition and poverty that continue to plague the country despite the fact that the economy seems to be growing, according to Albert and Raymond, the poorest 20% of the population only had share of 4.45% of the national income. This shows that the distribution of wealth is uneven in the Philippines, for the data shows that the poorest 20% earned 14,022 pesos, while the richest 20% of 176 and 863 pesos. The United States and the Philippines have shared strong relations dating all the way back to the late 19th century when the United States occupied the Philippines as a colony. The relationship between the two nations has even been described as a special relationship. Announced on 17 November, the Philippine economy expanded 21% in the third quarter of 2016, despite the 30th antics since taking over in June. The economy is going strong for now. In this post, we'll take a look at what is at stake for the Philippines economy if Duterte does indeed move to break off relations with their long-time ally and driver of economic growth, the United States. Thank you, ma'am. And that's all.